Da 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 ra da da ba 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 ra da 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 ra da da ba 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 ra da 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 ra da da ba 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 ra da 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 ha ha. What's up, y'all? It's your boy Bugatti NYC, and like I always tell you, you could have went anywhere. But the fact of the matter that you came here to chill with me, I appreciate you. We back again. Y'all see what it is. Delta Force versus the Cartel. Who would win if there were ever a battle? That's the question that I'm posing to you. Who do you think would win if there were ever a battle against, that's right, Delta Force? Y'all see it, Delta Force, right? Against the Cartel. Both of them have a tremendous background. They actually don't think that the Cartel is not advanced. They actually have been trained by special forces. So don't sleep. So the question is, since Donald Trump, our president, has now posed the cartels as terrorists, what's going to happen once it comes time for him to press the button and let them go? It's your boy Bugatti NYC, and like I always tell you, you could have went anywhere, but the fact of the matter that you came here to chill with me, I appreciate you. So check this out. What I'm gonna ask you guys to do, like I always do, check out the website, www.drinkbigdrip.com. Go over there, get the raspberry, grape, lemon, 14% by volume. That's right, www.drinkbigdrip.com. Let's go. So without any further ado, I bring to you Delta Force against the Cartel. Right now, what I want to ask, if you have a chance, let me know what you think. Don't look, just type in the comments who you think would win if they actually butted heads. Let's go.
Dead and a major Mexican city has been paralyzed by an explosion of violence in the state of Sinaloa. The Sinaloa drug cartel is in upheaval after a pair of high-profile arrests back in July. Son of the cartel's famed former leader, El Chapo Guzman, Joaquin Guzman, and another cartel leader, Ismael Zambada, were arrested in the United States. Zambada has accused the younger Guzman of kidnapping him in Mexico to hand him over to U.S. authorities. ABC News correspondent Matt Rivers joins us now from Mexico City with more on this. Matt, it's kind of hard to follow when you're just kind of trying to lay it all out that way, but what's the latest there in Sinaloa?
Yeah, so let's start with just what's going on, mainly in the city of Culiacan. That is the state capital of Sinaloa. Sinaloa is, of course, the heartland of the Sinaloa cartel country, if you will. And what we've seen within the last 2 weeks or so is just an explosion of infighting within this cartel, faction versus faction. And what it has done is left dozens of people dead. Officially, the number is around 40 at this point, but that's just officially. Anytime you're talking about deaths and organized crime, there are always deaths that are not reported officially. So the number is likely far higher than that. What we've been learning so far is that the majority of people who have been killed do appear to be involved with the cartel, not just ordinary civilians, but that's in part because civilians are basically staying home. Schools were closed last week. They only reopened this past Tuesday with heavy government patrols in the region. You had businesses shut down. The public transportation is empty. Even last weekend, Mexican Independence Day celebrations were formally canceled because of this fighting. So the population is basically cowed into staying inside their homes as this cartel continues to go to war with itself.
So the reason I'm bringing you this is because I want you to understand the magnitude and the strength of the Mexican cartel. They're not just some little fly-by-night group of people that just came outside and started to sell drugs on the corner. No, they're much more advanced than that. And as you can see, if they can do such damage as to shut down the entire Mexico in certain corridors, you know that these guys are no joke. That means that they can penetrate, they have influence, and they have a lot of power. A lot of money equals a lot of power.
So, what can you tell us about this uptick in violence in Sinaloa? Is it all related to these cartels? Is the arrest correlated with this? Why is that happening?
Yeah, quick history lesson. The Sinaloa cartel back about 10 years ago was run by a guy named El Chapo Guzman, who I'm sure most of our audience is familiar with. When he was arrested a little under a decade ago, basically the cartel stayed together but under these two factions. One led by his sons called Los Chapitos, and on the other side you had a faction led by Ismael Zambada known as El Mayo. They worked together for the better part of the last 10 years because of record-breaking profits from fentanyl production as well as mutual respect. But what you said off the top, one of the sons allegedly kidnapped El Mayo, brought him to the United States, and turned him over to U.S. authorities. That obviously put both factions, the one led by the sons of El Chapo, the one on the other side led by El Mayo and his son, that put them at odds immediately. Now,
So as you can see, there's no loyalty amongst thieves or drug dealers, if you get what I'm trying to tell you. There's no loyalty there. These guys are basically already infighting. Maybe this is the best time to go after them. Maybe this would be the best time to go after them using Delta Force. Especially if they have this type of training.
Now to an NBC News exclusive. We have obtained dramatic new body camera video of this week's hostage rescue mission at an ISIS prison that left a U.S. commando dead. Our chief foreign correspondent Richard Engel has our report tonight.
The footage appears to show the joint U.S.-Kurdish raid on an ISIS prison in Iraq last week. It was obtained by the Arab 24 news agency, it says, from Kurdish military officials. Amid the sounds of gunfire, the hostages emerge, terrified and barefoot, their hands held up to show they're unarmed. Bullet holes in the wall suggest there'd been a gunfight. A voice in Arabic, apparently from the rescuers, yells for the hostages to keep moving. They do, in filthy prison gowns. Some appear stained in blood as they move to safety. The commandos inspect another room with a large ISIS flag. What sounds like American voices can be heard. An adjacent hallway is lined with what look like prison cells. The troops move with skill and have American-made weapons. Much is not shown in the footage, including the moment when American Master Sergeant Joshua Wheeler from the top-secret Delta Force was shot. Today, his remains were flown back to the United States.
So, as you can see, these guys are top notch. They don't play when it comes down to coverage. They don't play when it comes down to even if they have to lose their own lives. This is a real serious situation right now. We got the cartel going against Delta Force. Now, again, I want you guys to let me know. Who do you guys think will win? Check out some of the tactics from the Hitman training camp when it comes down to the cartels. So basically what goes on at these cartels, I want to give you guys a little bit of information here. Inside the Hitman training camps, where cartels teach recruits to torture, take off heads, and they also train them to stay next to human remains that are decaying. This is crazy. A former hitman says Mexican cartels have military-style training camps where they teach recruits how to torture rivals and get over the smell of decaying bodies. El Gordo from Los Angeles was raised by his grandmother after being abandoned by his drug-addicted mom at 6 months old. He spent the teenage years following his dad's footsteps in and out of prison. He soon found himself selling drugs for the Betlatran Leya cartel, one of Mexico's powerful organized crime syndicates, before eventually being caught by police working at one of the cartel's houses. After qualifying for bail, the cartel boss revealed that he had a new job position for El Gordo. And that was to become a hitman so he could start making real money. The boss asked El Gordo if he'd be free to travel to the ranches for training for a few months. And when he arrived at the camp, he quickly raised He realized how serious the cartels took the role. Realizing what it was like now, the 36-year-old told us that when he got to the camp, it was basically like a military structure. He added, I could see that it was harsh, but at the same time they do it for purpose so you won't be weak. So again, military training at an entire facility with people who actually train you for things of this nature. As you can see, he grew up in this. And as you can see, this is something that they really are not playing with. He began excelling in the training camp so much that the leader told him if he wanted him in his squad because of his ability to adapt well and to torture. So this is what they do. They don't just lock you up. They actually shoot you and finish you. They also torture you. As you can see, he got arrested and he got caught. It says El Bitreo Leva Cartel started to crumble when the leaders were caught by the police or KILLED. Got to be careful for YouTube situations. As the cartel's power dwindled, El Gordo declined to make a career change and began working for trafficking in Tijuana, Mexico, where he made a whopping $7 million in just a year. But he was eventually busted and ended up spending another 8 years behind bars. When he got out, he got with a woman in Tijuana pregnant. Before he got arrested, and he had a daughter for the first time, and she inspired him to turn his life around. So I guess that's the reason why he basically is telling his story, and he's letting you know that the cartels aren't a joke. They have off-site military-like ability, and they're actually trained the same way the special forces is trained, which is something that we need to know. So we're going to hit this number 4, what we got here, the Delta Force philosophy. What is the Delta Force philosophy? Do anybody know it? If you guys know it, type it down in the comments and let me know what you think. Or if you know what the philosophy is. But if you don't, here's someone that will tell you. Check it out.
Delta is the only unit that I know. Delta is the only unit that I know of, especially in the tier 1 side of the house, that they recruit from everywhere. You can come from, correct me if I'm wrong, anywhere in the military. What are your thoughts on that?
You know, at the end of the day, your individual drive, your personal traits, your attributes, the way your mind works, I think are really what make the difference. With the right mindset and the right individual, you can teach a monkey to shoot. Pulling guys from all walks of life gives you perspective from so many different angles. It made us collectively even better. So I think that was the unit philosophy early. I mean, a guy might be a vehicle mechanic, but he has the aptitude and the drive and the intelligence to be trained to do all these other things. Well, now you end up with a dude at the other end of the pipeline that not only is an operator, but he can take apart and put back together an engine. You can go do anything you want, training-wise. If you can dream it up and you want to go do it, you want to learn it, whatever it is, all you have to do is explain how it's going to make you a better operator.
That's crazy. So all you got to do is explain why it's going to make you a better operator. You could say you want to be a seamstress, but if you could explain to Delta and your top leaders why it would make you a better operative, they're going for it. So tell me that job ain't flexible. Tell me that job ain't flexible, y'all. Tell me that's not a flexible job. But it must come with a lot of stress. And this is some of the stresses that I'm sure that it comes along with training like this. Can't play the audio, y'all, because they playing music. So I'm just gonna let you guys see what they do. We got snipers, we got hand-to-hand combat, we got firing training, movement with the training at the same time, entry, extraction, flash bombs, special weapons. As you can see, they got night vision, scopes, as well as heat sensors. They really don't play when it comes down to the hand-to-hand combat, or when it comes down to the gun training or the rifle training, the AR-15s. Also major war extractions as well. Look at this. They're jumping out of helicopters. So my question is, what do you think? Can the cartel handle them? Do you think so? This is the hand-to-hand combat I was talking about. Night vision, as well as snipers at night, entry extractions. They was flying off of a helicopter right there shooting. Y'all, I don't know if y'all saw that. So this ain't like, Call of Duty. This is the real deal right here. This is the real deal right here, y'all. Night vision, entry extraction, flash bombs. Oh my God, look at their the preciseness. Look at these. What? Yo, I don't know. Y'all. Y'all tell me, you think the cartel could deal with this? So this would be basically just like what they would be doing in an urban situation right here. These are all urban practice situations right here. Also drones, entry, heat sensors. This is basically stuff that's on scope. Like, they don't even have to go there. They can use drones for a lot of the stuff that they're doing. So it's a real deal going on over here. It's not a game. I can't play the music in the background, but I'm just trying to give you guys the visual of what it would be like to have Delta Force, going against you or coming against you. What's going on in the comments, y'all? How y'all doing today? Everything good? Hope y'all good. Everything good? Hope y'all good. Jim Babaluba, the cartel is devout of humanity. That is a major strength. Jay Crispy says, and who trained the initial cartel just in the 50s and 70s? The CIA, bro. Yep. Jim Jabulabar, they've evolved since then. They won't be beat. Oh my God, this desensitization is an extremely powerful tactic. Mix that in with hand-picked sociopaths and drugs. You're in the way to one of your toughest armies in the entire planet. Today I told the old lady that she looked like a disfigured Geometry Dash character and she pulled up with a Glock. These grandmas from the hood are built different. A random nanotube. You funny, bro. Good one. So yeah, that's basically who we're talking about. So these are the guys that got Osama. These are the guys that went to get Saddam. These guys are like no joke. So I don't understand. I don't know. I don't know if the cartel could handle them. But you said the CIA basically trained them. So if you feel like, that they can handle them, let me know. Maybe they can. But I'm not sure of that. I'm not exactly sure. But I would tell you this. Special Forces vet, he explains what happens when Trump cuts Delta Force loose against the cartels. A retired Green Beret said if President-elect Donald Trump follows through on his vow to unleash the U.S. Army Special Forces on the Mexican drug cartels flooding our nation with the deadly opioids they've been eradicating within 2 years, bro, if we declare war on the cartels, these dudes are not going to understand what the F is going on. He said that on Rogan. And here's a clip from Rogan. I just want you guys to see it.
I was thinking about this from a thought exercise where I'm like, because I know these units. I'm intimately familiar with them. Bro, if we declare war on the cartel, like these dudes are not going to understand what the fuck is going on.
No, of course not.
They are going to be, because God,
you'll
God
stop the distribution. That's going to be, yeah.
They are in for a world of like ultra violence they've never actually felt before, because obviously this is a very capable ultra violent organization. They have fucking no clue if we organize
these tier 1 units against them, this is going to be what I would be doing if I was down there. Like, I know all those shoe boxes in my fucking, my walls that I'm going to have to collect up. I'd be getting ready to retire right now. That's what I would be doing. Because if Delta Force was hunting me, bro, I would be so terrified.
Is that a real thing that they've proposed doing?
Yes, that is a real thing.
Who proposed that?
I'm almost positive either JD or Trump had said something with the new guy from ICE, like we're going to mobilize tier 1 units against the cartel. The only thing I thought was like, retire. If you guys got some money, man, I would like put that away. Like maybe move Jamaica.
Open
I don't know, go
restaurant.
somewhere. Yeah, buy a restaurant. Like try to go legit because
go legit,
dude. If those guys are hunting you, by the way, like you're done. You're fucking done.
And it's a weird thing that's going on right at our border.
So
it's a
strange.
weird thing. Because it's so close to us and it's so ultra violent and dangerous. And it's just completely shaped the way the entire economy of the country works.
Yeah, so imagine that. Imagine if they send freaking Delta Force to go get the cartels. That's like, that's like calling the police on a roach. Like, y'all got this roach in my crib, 911. I need y'all to come over here. That's overdoing it, for real. But let me ask you a question. You know anything about corruption with the government at the borders, as well as in the cities, as well as with U.S. administrators and government workers, or senators and governors? There's a lot of corruption going on, not only in Mexico. There's a lot of corruption going on over here as well.
Fact number one is that Mexico ships over 50% of the methamphetamine and marijuana into the U.S. market that we have. Over 50% of it comes from Mexico, and 90% of the cocaine in the U.S. comes from Mexico. That is about a $25 billion industry in Mexico, is drugs and drug trade. And as a result of that, I guess fact number two would be that the U.S. border defenses have beefed up, and they've tried to squeeze these drug routes, which has been good, and to some extent that's been effective. But to gain an advantage, the cartels have begun to infiltrate U.S. law enforcement. And I think that's very troubling.
So yeah, not only have they infiltrated their own borders, their own officials, their own police, their own government, they got money, man, and we're human beings. And with great power comes great responsibility. But also with responsibility comes great power. Because the responsibility, like the corrupt governors, the people that are trading on the internet, on the stock market, that know certain things that regular citizens like ourselves don't know. All of that is information that is actually excelling, and it's only given to a certain amount of people. So, to keep in light of what we're talking about, it's like we got corrupt officials now who are taking money the same way the corrupt officials was taking money over in Mexico. They're doing the same thing in the U.S. now. So what's going on is officials and politicians know about it, they figured it out, and they're trying to enact something and do something about it on this side as well as over on Mexico's side.
For the Senate, and it's very troubling for most Americans, and it's troubling for those agencies and all the way around. Our review suggests that the cartels are broadly targeting federal border law enforcement as well as state and local governments. And we're not going to focus on state and local today, but we have to acknowledge that that is a large concern that we will be focusing on, and we'll be working with the federal agencies and the state and local governments to try to get a better handle on this and work through good strategies on how we can prevent this from happening. The border.
Yeah, so yeah, y'all, that's basically our show for the day. Don't want to make it too long, don't want to go too far in. Just wanted to talk to you guys and see what your thoughts are on Delta Force against the cartels. It's your boy Bugatti NYC, and like I always tell you, it could have went anywhere. But the fact of the matter that you came here, I appreciate you. Going over to the website www.drinkbigdrip.com. Get yourself some drip. T-shirts. Raspberry lemon, 14% by alcohol. www.drinkbigdrip.com. And like I always tell you, you could have went anywhere. But the fact that you came here to chill with me, I appreciate you. So till tomorrow, get 'em!